Welcome back to New Realities. I am so happy to be here with my favorite co-host, Suzanne Ross, and this amazing, amazing conference coming together. It's sort of a retreat of sorts because it's all about transformation. Suzanne, we have a great guest who's going to be there. Suzanne, you want to talk about what's coming up, and then we'll introduce Sarah?
Yes, thank you, Alan. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm raising the roof over here, right? That's what we do. We're blowing the lid off the third dimensional matrix, and we're transcending into 5D at the Sedona Ascension retreat, our 10th anniversary celebration. Alan, it's only 2 weeks away now.
I know. I know. So everyone, we want to welcome them to Sedona, March 14th to the 16th. Go to Sedona Ascension retreats for this all-star cast, including Sarah Breskman Cosme, who's really the leading past life therapist, I think, on the planet. She's making huge discoveries, taking what Dolores Cannon did, but moving it to a whole other level. So I think you're going to love the other people here too, Sarah, like Mark Anthony and Aaron Abkey, and of course, Robert Grant, you've worked with. And you're both going to be there. You and Robert there together. You want to say anything about your session with Robert Grant while you're on the poster together?
Oh my gosh, like Robert and I were both shocked when I regressed him because I don't know if you guys know this, but when he completely, I mean, people saw it happen. It seemed like he completely shifted and changed after our sessions together. I think it's just totally opened him up to this other world. And it's amazing too, because he just has so much awareness. And I feel like the sessions not only helped him, but he allowed me to share them on my YouTube channel. And it's helped many, many people because he is just such a great example of what it's like to be in alignment with your purpose and having access to your higher self. And the information shared through him was just so mind-blowing. But I feel like one of the reasons why doing coming to this retreat is so important is I feel like especially in these times, everyone, I mean, I'm sure everyone feels this way. We all want to be in the know. Like we all want to know what is happening right now. Where can we find out more information that will help us during this shift? What is the ascension? How can we really, understand what to do that will help us in the best way that we can? And it's only through coming to a place like this where you hear people that are doing like the actual ground research and the work, that you can really find this information out. I mean, if I were someone else that didn't do the work that I do, I would have no clue as to what's happening. I would feel very lost, honestly, because there's so much happening on our planet right now. But I'm doing this work. Like I do this every day. And the information that's coming through and the messages for humanity are so important. And, I share them as best as I can, but it's places like this that I can really come and tell people, look, this is what's been coming through. These are the tips that my clients under hypnosis are saying, and I'm going to share them with the audience. I mean, I have clips of what exactly like the higher self has been saying so that the people can leave my presentation feeling empowered. Like they can feel like they have the control over their life and they could feel confident when they leave this ascension retreat that they've gotten something. They came, they got something because these type of retreats aren't just the type of retreats where you come and, it's like foo-foo and here is like a nice presentation. No, these are real researchers on the ground searching and finding information. And this all-star cast, that's what we all do. And so we're coming together, bringing it, we're going to totally rock this place. It's like what you were doing, Suzanne, with raising the roof, like people are going to feel very empowered after this.
Isn't that incredible, Suzanne? What a great promotion.
That was an amazing promotion. And you are so right. That's why I design it the way that I do with, these people who are really like they're transcending the boundaries right now. They're like blowing up YouTube because they're approaching like edgy topics, right? That are revolutionary. And it's for our evolutionary journey. Just right now, it feels like we're on such an accelerated evolutionary path. Everything is just popping, and all of these things like what you're talking about, the ability to hypnotize people and to bring to life Atlantis, Egypt, Mayan temples, Lemuria, like even the star races in your next book. So I was listening to these hypnotic regressions from your books on audio, taking walks out in nature, and places like Atlantis, Lemuria, I want to believe that, advanced technology, crystalline technology, like all the stories about that, but not totally sure. And then, oh my gosh, your clients bring them to life in such detail, talking about, oh yeah, it was very advanced technology. There was a lot of crystal technology used back then. There was different ways of healing and telepathic communication. And so it's like, yes, it's true. And I keep saying like, this is the return of Atlantis and Lemuria.
It is. It is exactly what you just said. It's the return of it because humanity doesn't move in a straight line. It doesn't evolve that way. We move through these lifetimes and cycles as a cycle. So we're hitting that same point. So most of the souls that are walking the planet today have had like another, you might call it almost like a parallel version. It's playing out right now in Atlantis and Lemuria. We're hitting that same point in our reality that we've hit during that time, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is that we're supposed to be triggered by everything that's happening, and it's reminding us, and it feels like, wow, I feel almost like I've done this before. And there's a reason people feel that way because many people have done this before, and it's to trigger them so they can start going inwards and make different decisions. The decision that we are supposed to make differently is we are supposed to listen to ourselves and not what everyone is telling us to believe and to do. That is the biggest thing that we can really do right now, is to just try to develop our ability to communicate with our inner voice, because that's going to be so key, and to develop a way that we can actually receive these messages, because it's going to help us profoundly during this shift in consciousness.
Wow. No, I'm just saying the more you are talking, the more excited am about this gathering. I was excited before, but you're putting it into a great context there, Sarah, that this is a turning point in you're approaching.
We are. I mean, people can feel it, and people know, and people talk about this shift in consciousness, and it's like, what is it? People want to know, and there's so much information about this shift through our past. And we can look to our past, and we can even look at the other cultures, like the Mayans and the other cultures that have gone through this type of shift. And the thing is that this information is not lost. It's being brought back to life through past lives, because we can see through past lives how other cultures have gone through this shift, what exactly they did and how it was for them. And people can remember this. That's the thing, because the soul never dies, and we've all probably reincarnated thousands and thousands of times. So you can just go deep into your memories, and in your memories, in your subconscious, are every life that are living in these other realities. And you can find out so many things.
Right. So in your sessions with people, are you going back to those lives? Sarah does this past life QHHC. Is that what it's called?
QHHT.
HT. It's a Dolores Cannon method for past life regression, but not just past lives. You're going deep into the soul. And are you getting people that are talking about the turning points in other lifetimes that where we are now, and what are they saying, Sarah?
They are saying that we are in it. It's not like it's coming. It's just that we are in it right now. We are in the shift in consciousness right now. And what is happening basically is there's so much happening not only to our DNA, to our bodies, and to us mentally. Not only are people releasing right now thousands and thousands of years of trauma, we're healing our ancestors, we're shifting our consciousness and perspectives, we're releasing old paradigms. I mean, there is so much happening to everyone. I mean, not just like one person, everyone right now, because the collective is going through this shift in consciousness. So a lot of people feel very lost. They don't understand what is happening. And so it's really great to like hear from all these other clients who are under hypnosis. And what I'm speaking with is I'm speaking with their higher self. They're under hypnosis, and I asked to speak with their higher self, which is, you could call it their soul, their intuition. And I've spoken with many, many people, and I arrive at the same answer. So these people don't know one another. And what they've been talking about is this is happening. It's right on track. There's nothing that could possibly happen that would cause us not to shift. And the earth and humanity, we are involved in this shifting of consciousness. Essentially, what's happening is we are becoming lighter in our density. The planet is also this realm is also going through a shift in its density, which means the vibration that everything is like vibration and density. And density is, or the density or the weight of this realm is actually getting lighter, and it's moving up into a higher density, or I hope I'm explaining this correctly so that you understand, higher frequency. So there's a lot that's really happening. Essentially, that's basically like eating lighter food, taking in lighter information, aligning your frequency and your vibration with a lighter feeling, a happier feeling, shifting the old beliefs that you've carried that are causing you to be very dense, and doing little things that help you as you go through, this shift in consciousness. But I mean, there is so much information about how to help us go through this shift, like so many tips and tools and things like along that nature.
Well,
Just for instance, like when I'm researching these people under hypnosis, in these ancient cultures, they remember that one way we were able to help ourselves shift and actually move our frequency up was just to like go into nature without any artificial light. Apparently, that's so profound and healing and can help you so much. It actually rebalances hormones. If you can go underneath the stars and the moonlight with just natural light, put your feet on the ground. There's so many ancient cultures do different hip shaking dances. And there's a reason for that, because that not only helps you shake out your trauma, it actually helps the earth, because the earth is very connected to to us, actually. So by doing these hip shaking dances, there's an energetic process that happens where you connect deeply to the earth, and you feel the connection from the moonlight or the starlight without any artificial light. And this can help you rebalance your hormone and raise your vibration significantly. Even like other cultures understood the use of like cats. Did you know that cats can actually manipulate energy and shift your vibration? A cat, when it's sleeping next to you, it will guard your energy, but it helps you in this ascension process. So we have like these really special teachers for all this. We have our pets and we have our trees. And trees are one of the most important teachers. And so many people are being asked to connect again with trees. Did you know that trees used to be able to communicate in the ancient cultures? And so as we move through this shift in consciousness, the trees are the wisest teachers, and they have a record and understanding of everything that is happening right now. They know what's happened in the past, and even a seed can tell you where it came from. It knows exactly how it traveled to get where it did. It's really unbelievable. There's just so much that we never were taught about, even like ingesting raw honey. Did you know that raw honey contains the blueprint of the cosmos, that bees put in a frequency in raw honey? And so that's why raw honey was stored in the pharaoh's tombs, because they would always have connection to the cosmos. So by ingesting just a little bit of raw honey under your tongue, you can start to develop your subtle abilities to read information and predict the future. Like there's so many like really cheap, like easy ways to start tuning in to different subtle energies and start to raise your frequency and just raise your awareness to very new levels that you really haven't been before.
I am learning so much from you, Sarah. Isn't she amazing, Suzanne?
Yes, I have my list, Alan. Get a cat, buy raw honey, dance under the stars.
No, but you know, as I noticed, Sarah, because I've known you for a couple of years, as you evolve, you go deeper into this work. You're bringing out a deeper set of knowledge because your wisdom is like going to those levels of vibration, right?
Well, I'm super curious, and I want to know the answers to these things. I want to know what is the very latest information. I want to know what's happening on, this realm. It's really mind-blowing to me. Some of the information, sometimes when it comes through, I have to like digest it and try to understand it. And it's really actually hard for me. And I have to try to figure out what they are really telling me.
Like what? Give us an example of that.
Okay, all right. Well, this is going to just probably make you confused. This is the
That's
most
okay.
recent information that has been coming through. So recently, through a couple of my hypnosis subjects. And so my hypnosis subjects are different than my clients. My clients come in for a session, they pay me, so I don't get to ask any questions. But every week, I have at least one or two hypnosis subject sessions, which are a group of people that I have chosen from my work when a really amazing client comes in. And I know they're amazing because they can recount in full detail very amazing details, and they have a very clear connection with their higher self. So I have a bunch of them, and that's how I do my research. Through my hypnosis subjects, they have shared that the images that people show on the TV of Mars are fake, that it was filmed somewhere on this realm. And then, okay, this is really going to confuse you, okay? Because I don't understand it. They say that Mars is actually on this realm. So my question to them was, well, I can see Mars. That looks like it's not here. And they said, oh, no, it's here. No, it's like a part of your Earth. And I was like, well, how come I can see it? And they said, all stars and planets are plasma reflectors, and they're souls and portals. So you're looking at a reflection, but eventually you will see that Mars is actually located. You will be able to go there. And I was like, well, is there an atmosphere there? Like, can people breathe? And they said that's a new land that will be opening up and people will be going there.
But I want to ask you, how do you know that people are not just making things up with their imagination when you regress people? I'm not saying it's not
Oh,
true,
yeah.
but how do you know?
No, yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So I test them. That's one of the biggest reasons I have the hypnosis subjects that I do, because they never meet one another and I can
Mhm.
ask them the same question. So I can ask them all questions and try to research. I haven't fully grasped this whole Mars thing, to be totally honest with you, because this stuff started coming through and I don't really understand it myself.
But you heard it from more than one person, that Mars thing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I can't really, I don't understand it. What they
Well,
said is like, this is like a plasma, a, the universe is like, has like an electrical field, and it's basically, okay, this is gonna get even weirder.
that's okay.
All right. So like they said, so actually like it's almost like the cells in your body, they have their own life going on.
Hmm.
You are inside something too.
Hmm.
Inside something else, inside something else, inside
Right.
something else.
That goes along with the simulation theories that people like Riz Verk is talking about. But what I get from what you're saying is that so we're in a certain time space,
Yeah.
this Earth and these and humans, and that's when we look out there, that is part of our time space, but
Yes.
it may be actually just a reflection of something else. So we're seeing it in our time space, but that just might be a placeholder for what's beyond that that we can't actually access because we're in this time space. So we're kind of, does that make,
Yeah.
that's what I get. Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't describe it. I really don't understand it.
Okay.
So a lot of channeled material that I've read, and there's one particular big fat book I talked about when I was on Gaia TV called the Bilgi Katabi Knowledge Book. It's 1,000 pages, and this person is like channeling these higher beings in different dimensions. And one of the things they talk about is everything is really automated, and that goes to what you're saying with the simulation, sort of, Alan. Everything is in an automated system. And it's
Mhm.
all systems that are integrated. And so, like, for instance, our solar system is one integrated system. And it's actually 12, like each of us are 12, like each of us has 12 personalities, like on the zodiac wheel. The solar sun at the center of our solar system is a soul itself, projecting 12 aspects of itself, 12 personalities. So really our solar system is one soul, one self,
Yes.
represented as 12. And each of the different selves, which would be the planets, have a very specific role. And all of those roles that are being played, including our own Earth, are very interconnected. And that's like, one system of evolutionary, progression. But like they have different star systems and star races on different stars throughout our galaxy, which now is again another system. So we're a system within a solar system, within a galaxy that's another whole system. But it talks about how, like, Sirius, and we already know this, right? It talks about how Sirius is really supervising our progression into this golden light year, they call it, right? And then you have the Pleiades, and they have a certain role in supporting us in our accelerated evolution into this ascension. And so it's very fascinating how integrated and interconnected all of
Well,
these systems are. And on top of the fact that they're electric because they're automated, this whole thing is data. And it's all automated based on keywords and algorithms.
mm. But you know what else I also get from what you're saying, Sarah, and I don't know if it's true, is that everything we see out there is a reflection of our mind. So
Yes, it is. That's
in
true.
a way, it's not really out there, it's in here. So even the stars, they're like, we can't get beyond the mirror we're seeing, but there is something beyond the mirror that maybe those people aren't looking at, but we're just seeing the mirror of our mind. So I want to go beyond the mirror in your session with you.
Me too. Well, even in Robert's session, his higher self kept talking about that, Alan, because they kept saying that, they talked more and more about how everything is us. Like we are basically rendering our reality 100%. I mean, what our external reality is basically what's happening internally. So the more we work on ourselves internally, the more our external reality shifts. And it's really true because, like what you guys were talking about, this is like a program. It's like a computer program. I mean, clients under hypnosis even talk about this, that this is an ascension program, like a computer program. It was placed on the earth when the earth decided she wanted to be part of the ascension process. And so the program was set up, and we all understand coming into this earth plane that we are going to be a part of this ascension program, basically. Like we're like, okay, sign me up. I'm coming in for this, video game in a sense. And what you were saying, Suzanne, is really cool because about the 12, because that's something people see in the future that we start shifting back to the 13 months. In Atlantis, they had 13 months, and it coincides more with the cycles of time, and it coincides more with the cycles of our bodies. It actually helps us reconnect with the cosmos a little bit better because women have 13 cycles a year. There were 28 days in every month. And so at a certain time, because I guess the groups didn't want us to keep, when we are in alignment with this type of calendar, the 13-month calendar, we actually intuitively become more connected with the earth, with the natural rhythms, with the cosmos. And a lot of insight can be given to us with just changing it to a 13-month calendar. So there was a big push to get humanity to stop being so connected to the earth, to receive information in that way. The push was really to have controllers and people wanting to be in charge when it comes to things like the church and things like that. But people have seen, and I'm talking multiple clients, hypnosis subjects under hypnosis, this shift, this big powerful shift into having a 13-month calendar. This upcoming shift, I mean, aside from the chaos, looks absolutely beautiful. People understanding how to have real relationships again, like relationships where they really feel like they are part of something. Everyone has a desire to play a specific role, a specific part. And everyone fits together in a society like a key to a puzzle. Everyone is so needed. And so as we move into like our new roles, I'm so excited for this beautiful like paradigm shift where we all have different people playing a role in like a tribal society again. And I like practicing this at like different retreats like yours, when you come together and people have different things they want to share with each other and different almost like gifts of knowledge, that they bring. It's
Yeah, that 13 really resonates with me because if we think about it, we're the 13th in the center, right? We have our whole soul, and the 13th is the soul at the center, projecting out these 12 aspects of its personality. Just like the sun in the center of the solar system is the 13th, it's the light at the center. And I remember my friend Laura Eisenhower started talking about, years ago, this 13th sign, Ophiuchus. And the cool thing is that the 13th sign constellation of Ophiuchus was in alignment with the central sun, and that was going to accelerate our ascension because they called Ophiuchus the snake bearer, the snake dancer, like having completed its Kundalini journey through the 12. And so it's tamed its Kundalini energy, this serpent energy. And she also called Ophiuchus the ascension gatekeeper. And so it's really achieving that 13th connection with the soul at the center, the higher self, to know thyself, to connect with the higher self, to become the higher self. And then you resonate with that higher self frequency that sort of qualifies you for the ascension.
Wow.
This automated system, interestingly enough, kind of another thing they were talking about is it's measuring our frequencies all the time through keywords, through actions, through thoughts. It's measuring our thoughts and determining our level of evolutionary development through our frequency. And it qualifies us for a quantum leap into the next dimension or not. Also, for this golden light year, they said that there is sort of an emergency call out that's like only 1/10 of a second. If there's a crisis on the planet, they said they will literally extract instantly those who are ready for the next higher dimension to like save them from the catastrophe, which kind of reminds me, right, of what they say in the book of Revelations, or you might call it the rapture in Christianity, because there's so many similarities between like this idea of rapture and this idea of ascension, right, Sarah? Where like, people are instantly, sort of ascended out of this dimension. And they, also to avoid the tribulation, the book of Revelation would say. So in a time of like planetary crisis, our star brothers and sisters, particularly in this book from Sirius, will automatically extract us off the planet into the next higher dimensional plane before like we're destroyed by some catastrophe.
Oh my gosh, yes. And people even remember other times when we have gone through that before, when there was a big solar event and it woke the whole like humanity in a different version of Earth up before. And it was really fascinating to see how fast people were releasing their old paradigms. But yes, and people I guess, yeah, people don't really realize that, but there's so much help. So there's so many players that are watching and guarding their their people on the ground, or basically anyone that is ready for this shift. No soul will be lost, and that's something that has been coming through the higher consciousness, that there have been many trapped souls that got confused at the moment of death, especially in Atlantis and Lemuria. At the moment of death, there's right when someone's dying, there's a split second where sometimes they can be very confused. And so in a case like those civilizations in Atlantis and Lemuria, there were so many people that left their bodies very instantly, that were very confused and became trapped there. And so during this shift, none of those souls will be lost. They're all being recollected and helped for the shift. I mean, there has been a lot of help for them, but during this process, it'll be easy for them to see the light and to go back to the light. And you know what is really interesting is, even though we can be physically incarnated, our soul could actually have an aspect of it that's trapped in a place like Atlantis and Lemuria, and they would feel like something was missing in their life, or there was a little bit of like kind of like they weren't all here in a sense. And sometimes that could be the case. But I have heard that there are also certain like what you would call like space arcs underneath the ground in a tunnel system that are assigned to different people. And there's one specific type of arc that if you have like a triangle birthmark somewhere on your body, that a lot of these people are assigned to. And so if anything were to happen, they would be automatically shifted like that, taken out. And helped. But I mean, it's not like something anybody would ever have to worry about, because nothing would ever happen to your soul. And
Right.
most people
But
describe
But you
nice.
know what you're saying about the light and all that is exactly or similar to what Ann Tucker, Ann Tucker's work?
Yes, and I'm so excited to meet her. I haven't
She
really listened to her stuff, but I can't wait. She's gonna be here.
it's it's similar to what you're saying. As this light comes, as this shifting of the ascension wave comes, there will be a chance to move into this lighter light frequency. And it's coming. She says this is coming maybe by 2026. And Bashar says similar things. Bashar says this huge shift is coming in 2026. So this retreat, this conference you put together, Suzanne, is really the preparation with the all-stars of our Ascension community. I really feel that, Sarah, you've had so much amazing information just from your research that it's a preparation for this shift. Just hearing you speak in your really nice, calm, gentle, easy voice, it is a frequency unto itself. I mean, it's beautiful. Thank
Well,
you.
I think so many people are just so afraid and they don't really know what to do or what, how to navigate. And basically, I just want to help them have some tools and things that they could do to not only just navigate, but to be a freaking badass through it, because you can actually really redevelop your abilities, and it's free and it's easy. And there's a lot of things we just don't know.
So give us some more tools that you're learning. I know you have a whole presentation you're going to do in Sedona. It's March 14th to the 16th, 2025. But give us a little taste so people can get really excited. And you're doing a workshop. Is she doing a workshop,
No,
Suzanne?
she's only there on Friday because she's busy. She's got to take off after that.
Oh,
But
you're
she's
only there.
also part of that Ascension guest panel. Alan, could I share just really
Yes,
quick?
please. Yes.
Because
That's going to be
I'm
fantastic.
excited about this Ascension panel. And so, who do we have on the panel but William Henry, who is an
Oh, wait.
Ascension expert?
It's not coming up yet. Well, I'm not seeing it on the
Oh, you can't see
screen.
it?
Not
Mm,
just yet, but it says
okay.
Suzanne has started. No, try it again because it said it started. It may take a few seconds before
Okay.
it actually.
Share. How's that? You
Okay.
see it?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
now it's up. Yes, yes.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
click the green button on the top of the poster there so it full screen. Do you see?
There we go. How's that?
Yes. Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
So tell us.
Yeah, so William Henry, right? He's such an ascension expert. He's been studying and researching ascension for years and years and years, and have been to all these sacred sites that are meant to come back online at the time of the ascension, right? All of these interconnected sacred sites. And then, of course, Robert Edward Grant. We did an interview with him a few weeks ago, and he was just amazing. Just came back from Egypt, and he's just traveling all over the globe, discovering so many amazing things, and also on board with the Ascension. Of course, our beautiful Sarah, Aaron Abke, who's been talking about fourth dimensional or fourth density tools and practices with his 4D University. And he is just absolutely fascinating, so well versed on everything religious, spiritual. Then there's Adam Apollo, who is incredibly brilliant. He's a physicist, a nuclear physicist, I think. Anyways, he's brilliant, and he's, diving deep into the ancient magical tribes of the I can't even pronounce it, but it's this ancient race of beings. And he's talking about the arcana of the ancient times. So anyways, Adam Apollo will be on that Ascension panel too. And then Alan and I are hosting it. So we're
Yes.
preparing all kinds of really interesting questions to ask this expert panel.
Yeah, it's going to be quite exciting to get all of you in one place at the same time, comparing notes with each other too. So, Robert's such a brilliant visionary, and Adam has this thing about he actually has the technology to land a UFO, to travel interdimensionally. He did this whole presentation. So it is a new time we're moving into where something else is coming to the planet. I just heard some of the telepathy tapes. Have you heard those tapes?
No,
No, I've got to tune into that. I can't
did
wait.
you?
Have you heard about that, Sarah?
I've heard about it. I haven't checked them out yet, but I'm glad it makes sense that they're coming out now, because that's something we're being asked is that we will be speaking telepathically with each other, but we're supposed to practice on trees and our plant and our pets.
Everything, yeah, everything wants to talk to us. And when I teach, more and more people are interested in remote viewing. That's just like part of that, right?
Yes.
I'm doing a remote viewing workshop
Yes,
at
you
your
are.
retreat.
Yes.
Yes, I am. So it's something's catching on about this whole other level of mind that you're tapping into with these people, and they're accessing. What are they accessing when you're in these regressions with these people? Because Dolores Cannon started it, but I think you're a whole other level beyond Dolores Cannon.
Oh,
That's
no,
my
no, she is Dolores
okay.
Cannon. Like I am just doing her work. Listen, she is the
Okay.
mastermind behind this. And sometimes she comes to me like right before I wake up, especially when I'm going to do a presentation or something, and she'll come right before my alarm clock goes off. Like I'm not a medium or anything like that, but I know it's her because she puts her hand, it's like a hand comes through dream time, and it's like, time to wake up. This is going to be an exciting day or something. And I get mad. I'm like, I could have slept like 1 second longer. And then I realize, what's happening. But what I'm talking to is essentially every person, we are also on the other side. Okay, so every realm, every place, like other realms that have extraterrestrials on it have another side. We here have another side. It's another version of Earth. It's like very beautiful. That's where we all come from. But we're here having this physical experience, but our higher selves are still there. So I'm speaking with the part that's still there that can oversee, that sees everything. And so they see the progression and what's happening with the evolution of consciousness. That's essentially what I'm speaking with, in a sense, because all souls consider themselves we and all connected in one. I'm speaking with everyone. I'm speaking with
This,
everyone's higher self.
this is what Bashar says. Bashar says, like, in a sense, they're beyond this realm. That he says it's like equivalent to the dead, in a sense, but they're not dead, they're alive. So we're the ones that are really not alive because we are cut off from this vaster field of consciousness that is the true life force, in a sense. So
Yeah,
that's
that's what people see.
Oh, really? They
Mhm.
see that. So the telepathy tapes are about these nonverbal speaking or they're non-speaking autistic children that are totally connected to this other realm, except they're not so functional in this realm, but this realm is the artificial world. So, in a sense, we can learn from these beings. Someone said it's like the meek shall inherit the earth. Like maybe this is what Jesus was talking about. The meek are showing us this realm of consciousness that we're too smart to think it exists. Or, this one non-speaking kid said, I'm in here. Like for years, his mother thought that it was just, there was just no one home. And the first thing he typed out was, I'm in here. Isn't that intense?
Well, a lot of my clients, when they're under hypnosis, see that um, autism there's two things. One aspect of it is many people choose before coming in not to be separated from the other side, but to have like a very strong foot on the other side while being here. There's a lot of teaching that comes through a person that has autism. It helps teach the collective how to understand people with differences. And then there's another huge aspect to it. There is also a teaching about how nothing is all good or all bad. So when you think about some people that have what you would consider damage to a part of their brain, it has opened up a new channel and opened up new abilities, because we are supposed to look at disabilities as what they really are, which are abilities. But we see them through the lens of this is different than what I have. So it must be something wrong with that person. When really what we are supposed to understand is everyone's differences are what helps the whole collective. And we each come in with differences to teach everyone and to actually like help this whole collective. So people like with ADHD, for instance, they they're considered through the lens of people that don't have ADHD as disabled, but actually what is happening is they can see greater. They came to think outside the box, and they're flowing with a different vibrational frequency speed. So anyway, I remember learning about autistic children speaking telepathically, and it's in my first book that got banned, actually. My book, A Hypnotist's Journey to Atlantis, has been banned since October 5th on
Who banned your book? Who did that?
Amazon.
Why?
Well,
That's
I think there's too much truth in it. So now, I'm just going to redo it and take out something.
wow. But you're selling it on your own, right? If people want to buy it.
I have to get my own copies, I guess. I just had it for sale on Amazon. You can still get it on Kindle and Audible. They seem to be separate, but my lawyer cannot get the paperback version back. So
Well,
I'm
wow.
just going to redo it and
Well,
republish it.
maybe we could sell. Will it be there for the conference coming up or no?
No, but I did see some of the paperback versions being sold on eBay for like $375. They're very expensive. Banned books are a thing now.
You should actually, I might have a publisher for you, or even like Suzanne's sister's a publisher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she is.
So we're going to get that book out there, Sarah.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
cool.
I'm redoing it, taking out the keywords, but I have the original one too that I would like to put back out.
But you have other books too, right? What are your other books?
Oh, yes. I have other books. I have a hypnotist journey. I write all the hypnotist journey books. So my latest is a hypnotist journey to Avalon. And I have a hypnotist journey from the trail to the star people, a hypnotist journey to the secrets of the Sphinx, and
Wow.
hypnotist journey to Atlantis.
But
I listened
I want
to
to just get
this one on Audible. You said that's
Yeah, you
still
can still get it.
available. It's actually really great on Audible because it's your voice. It's
Aw.
your voice, right?
Uh-huh.
You feel like you are right there present in these sessions. And so I highly recommend the Audible version of A Hypnotist Journey to Atlantis.
Thank you.
right. So you'll bring some books to the event, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, thanks.
Great. But I just want to go back to this whole ascension thing that we're talking about. And what do you have a time frame when, I mean, it's shifting now, but do you have like, what kind of time frame are you getting for this major thing?
Well, I wanted to say, I thought it was interesting what Suzanne said about the star systems acting like a snake, because in the ancient prophecies of this time, they would describe that our star systems move in a snake-like pattern. And when they go up above our galactic plane, it's when we're going into a golden age. And so it's prophesized that our star systems, which they consider to be our portals or where we come in to this realm, are moving up above the galactic plane, and we are in alignment with this golden age. But here's the thing that comes through my clients, my hypnosis subjects. They will never give me a time period. They said it's shifting constantly, that in a sense, it's like everybody has a different reality almost. So they can't really tell me, oh, this will happen in like 2026, No, they just say it's happening now. How this shift continuously changes. And it'll shift according to how we shift our perspective. So there's potentials, like, they have certain potentials, what they've been talking about. They've been talking about Now, everyone has their own reality, basically, is what they've been saying, but they do say we're headed for a nexus point. And one of the potentials of the nexus point is that a tail of a comet will go in front of the sun, triggering a solar flash, and that will dismantle our veil, and we will see into all these other realities, and that will shift the collective reality because it will shift everyone's perspective. Because all we're doing is shifting our perspective.
When is that? When do you think that's happened? Do you have a time frame for
Oh,
that?
they will not give me a time frame.
Well, what about that Apophis, right, Alan?
Yes,
We've talked
Right.
about multiple times, right? Isn't that 2029? Apophis is going to come close to the planet Earth, and they're calling it the Egyptian chaos dragon. It was named Apophis, and also this like red fiery giant. You know, so I mean, it's very fascinating. The Egyptian chaos dragon, right? And I mean, I'm just into the book of Revelations because it's so fascinating. That's totally what the book of Revelations is talking about, the ascension of the new earth and, you know, the descension of the old earth. But anyways, they talk about Archangel Michael and the dragon in the sky,
Mhm.
right? And this red fiery dragon comes to planet Earth and could be the catalyst for the ascension with its tail
I
causing
need
a solar flash.
I need to
That
read this book. I've never read any of this material because I grew up half Jewish, half Quaker. So I had like no religion at all.
But you're regressing people to you're not you're looking at the future as well as the past, right? I
Oh,
mean, your
yeah.
regression.
Yeah, I
I
am.
see.
But they don't give me specific dates for anything. They don't say, oh, this will happen in this date. They just say you're in alignment with this. And they say this is what we see coming as like the most likely experience to happen.
Uh-huh. And this thing, many people have predicted this light flash, right?
Yeah, many people predicted that and the nexus point and that we will split into different timelines. People will have different realities and things like
This is
that.
exactly what Ann Tucker. I want to have a conversation with you and Ann Tucker,
It will be
because
so cool. Yeah,
let's do that, Suzanne. Will we
I
have
would
time to
love
do
that.
That would be fun.
maybe
Absolutely.
can we do an extra event, Suzanne, with Ann and
Yeah.
Sarah?
Right?
Maybe a special event, or maybe like a little luncheon or something. We'll work on that.
I would
Okay.
love that.
Yeah. No, there's so much potential here with this amazing. Suzanne's been building this for 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary, and it's like coming to this incredible peak of all the people coming forward now. And it's different than conscious life where there's so many different rooms going on. This is one person at a time where everyone can listen to that and be focused on that message. And then the panels kind of pull it all together. So I'm so happy you're going to be there. And where's your research going, Sarah? What's happening next for you?
Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for my next hypnosis subject for my next book. So the way it works is I don't know what I'm going to write about at all. I have no idea. It's whatever comes through. And I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure because I've started receiving some interesting information. But once I will know because I will get a whole bunch of other regressions that are talking about the same thing under hypnosis and they don't know. So that's why I'm not going to say what I think it is
Okay.
because they don't know what it is. And so then it pulls in the story is written for it for me. Like
Okay.
it's what I think it is happening is it's us on the other side just using me as
Okay.
like you know, the record keeper sense.
Let's do a session. I'm waiting for my
I
session.
know.
So,
I know. I would love that. Let's do it. Let's do it.
all right. Do we do it online or in person? You
If I
do
do it online, it has to be my technique. I can't do QHHT online.
whatever you want. No, whatever you want. We'll just do whatever version you want. And
Okay, yes.
I'm just so happy. Is there anyone coming to this event that you're interested in talking to that's has new information for you?
Well, now I'm really excited to talk to Ann Tucker because I've never really talked to her before. I've never met her. And I love when people share similar things that I'm getting, and they're getting this information too, because we don't know each other. So the fact that if we're both receiving similar information, that is pretty fascinating for me. So I would love to talk with her about the information she's getting.
Yes. Yeah, let's try to do a public dialogue. Okay, we're going to see what we can do. We'll figure something because it's fascinating. You are getting similar information. It's really very fascinating that. And what does Robert Grant say when you regress him about Apophis? Because he's the person,
Oh,
Suzanne,
yes.
right? What did he say about the
I mean,
comet?
no, I didn't hear about Apophis from him
Oh,
It's
necessarily.
in
he
There
his
was
talks.
another,
session,
but
actually. It is
okay.
in his it is in
What did
his
he
session
say?
that that would cause the shift. He does say that
Oh,
in
he does say
his
that?
higher, yeah, his
Oh
higher
my
self does say
gosh.
that in the session. And it was funny because I asked him after, have you ever heard this before? And he said no.
What
So
did he say? I mean,
that it would
specifically.
um that it would cause a massive shift in the earth. He did say, so here's the point where you could take it or leave it. He did say it would cause like an earth change so that it would have significant earth changes as a result of it.
Okay, so can I just add? I mean, like, first of all, I heard of Apophis from another author who I can't think of his name right now. He actually wrote a book called Vatican X, along with other books. But he started talking about Apophis, and he was saying how actually there is a sacred mountain somewhere in Arizona where this telescope was built by NASA, and then that the Vatican came in and built another telescope, and they're looking for Apophis because there's inside intel at the highest levels that Apophis does have the potential to cause this shift. And then I tuned into this other podcast, and he was talking about the plasma apocalypse. And he was explaining how when Apophis hits planet Earth, it actually penetrates to the inner core, which releases this blue plasma. And the blue plasma is the environmental catalyst that causes this shift into higher consciousness, where suddenly we're like telepathic and we're all love and light. And it's because of Apophis penetrating the earth and this blue, and it comes out looking like a pillar. And then ancient civilizations from all over the world have built pillars because they're waiting for the blue pillar to come out of the center of the earth because it will create 1,000 years of peace.
See, here's the cool thing.
Wow.
It's like,
Wow.
that is so cool. Here's the cool thing though. You hear all these things about the different ways that this shift will happen, but really the thing is that you can create the way you want it based on what you believe. You can actually do that. And a lot of the people that try to place a lot of control on our society understand that your belief system creates your reality 100%. So why don't we just decide what we want and make it that way by believing in it and shifting our belief system. So we're like,
Absolutely,
okay.
yes. But I do want to say for people who've never heard of Apophis, it is an asteroid that's going to, I think, come below the moon's orbit even. I mean, it's going to be very, very close. Even that person, who's a very kind of radical, right wing sort of materialist guy, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about Apophis. I just call him a kind of very old school sort of person. And I could pull up a little talk by him. Anyway, he just says something is coming. Should I pull that up, Suzanne? Do you want to hear what he has to
Well,
say?
Robert goes into very good detail
Oh,
about
he
it on
does.
his
Good.
first session, but he doesn't say it will hit the earth. He says it'll be in very close and they're going to think it's going to hit the earth. But just because of its influence and I guess the
Yeah,
way it resonates with the earth that causes these reactions.
because
So
that
Well,
gravitational
it's
pull,
coming.
everything, yeah, would cause an environmental change, right, Alan?
right.
Well, it's gonna something. It's 2029 that it's scheduled to come within that very close to the Earth. I mean, that's not just something people are saying in your sessions. It's a fact, if we can say such a
Right.
thing.
And then there's that whole 2030 craze, right,
What's
Alan?
that?
Like,
What's that
well, the
craze?
2030, there's a 2030 singularity university that's all of these like very high tech people who talk about at 2030, it's the singularity. And so, they're planning for AI to basically rule the world in 2030. And so they know something at these higher levels about 2030 being the time when this, shift takes place for them. They're focusing on the tech side of it, right? They're saying, okay, you can upload your brain into some kind of computer system or AI system, for instance, and then you can achieve immortality through technology. Like
This
that's
is
one.
what this is what I've been hearing about in my clients under hypnosis, the challenge, like basically the game. Like the game is, will you ascend naturally as you can, growing yourself spiritually? And a lot of people want to take the easy way out. And this
Mm.
is the mistake that many people feel like it was a mistake. Of course, there's you know, you can keep doing it and try again, and you don't really get anything wrong. It's just learning. But many people have decided to come here and they just forgotten, but they wanted to do it this time where they evolve themselves spiritually and not take the easy way out, because the easy way out, the chip in the brain, eventually causes a weakness to humanity, and humanity cannot function with this shortcut. And it doesn't actually produce longevity. In fact, it's the opposite. It weakens the whole species as a whole. And so then there is a huge goal to find untampered with humans. And so
Oh,
essentially, we have this game that we're playing. Do we do it? You see, this is the problem, because when a person leaves their body and they go back to the in-between, they remember, oh, I could have like manifested this. I didn't realize that I had that much power, because you don't feel like you have power, right? When you're here, like a lot of us get sick and we don't realize that we actually have a lot of power through our intentions and our belief system, because it's so dense, it takes so long. Like when we want something or we try to heal ourselves, it's like, it seems like it takes forever, but actually it's happening. We just don't realize that it's happening. As you're manifesting, you're actually manifesting these things, and it happens slowly. So you don't really see the progression so much, and you don't really see the healing when you're meditating every day, but you see this on the other side, and so you see, like, you can do this, actually go through
wait,
yourself.
so you're saying the hard path, the part that looks hard, is really the soul growth that we're needing in the incarnation, but
That's
for
what
evolution.
my client, yes, because we have chosen the other path, the easy, like, hook me up to this thing, which there's no wrong way of doing anything. Don't get me wrong. There's no wrong way, but many people are here to do it the way that they evolve themselves spiritually.
Right. Well, the Apophis kind of prediction will be a little challenge for a lot of people, you know. Actually, I did find a little clip online. You want to see some of that? I just want to play some of this
Want
just
to
to
show it, Alan? Go ahead.
yeah, I think it's interesting. This is Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a bit of a linear sort of person, I would say. Do you see that on your screen there?
I
No.
don't.
You
It's
don't?
all
Do you see
black.
it now, maybe?
Yes.
Now? Okay, he says this about Apophis.
There's an asteroid the size of the Rose Bowl headed towards Earth. It's called Apophis. Nexus, named for the Egyptian god of death and darkness. It'll have a close approach to Earth in the year 2029. It will come close enough to Earth to dip below our orbiting communication satellites. For that passage, that will be the closest, largest thing we have ever observed in the history of our observing the universe. The uncertainty in its orbit at this moment is such that for that passage, there is a range of orbits it could have, which if it goes through what we're calling the keyhole, Earth's gravity on it will be just right. That the next time around, it will hit Earth 7 years later, April 13th. If it goes through the center of the keyhole, it'll hit the Pacific Ocean 500 kilometers due west of Santa Monica. It'll plunge into the Pacific Ocean to a depth of 3 miles. At that depth, it will explode, cavitating the ocean with a hole 3 miles wide, 3 miles deep. That impulse will send a tsunami wave that will basically wipe out the entire west coast of the United States and the east coast of Asia. There's an asteroid.
Anyway,
That is exactly what Robert said. April
No
13th.
way.
that's what Robert said.
He
Oh wait,
said under hypnosis, Friday the
wait.
13th.
Sorry, let me shut this off. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me. Okay.
He said
Okay.
all those things.
Oh,
You
I
can
can't
listen
shut this
to
off.
it.
One second. I'm sorry. Let me just close that. Okay.
That passage,
Oh,
there is a
wait.
range of
Okay.
orbits
Sorry. Wait. I have
which,
to.
if it goes
It's not.
on April 13th.
Okay.
There's an asteroid.
All right. Never mind.
On April 13th.
Okay.
In the year 2020.
Okay. Okay. Never mind. April 13th. Apophis is coming. That's what he says.
But it's
That's the date.
specifically Friday, April the 13th,
Oh.
2029. And he described it, his higher self described it exactly like that it would dip below the you dip below the satellites and everything.
But it might not wipe out the West Coast. It could be what you're saying, a time where higher vibrations and light and transformation happen.
He does say, his higher self does say that the people that are moving through the ship will not be affected by this.
Right. And that's what Ann Tucker says too.
Yeah, I think it is all like, since we are creating our own reality, basically, I mean, in this video game, and there are templates and there are collective agreements for the basically video game. It really does boil down to what you believe or what timeline you align yourself with, which one you agree with, and which one you're bringing into your reality, basically.
Oh, you're muted, Alan.
Oh, you're
Oh, sorry. So coming up at the Ascension retreat, the beautiful thing Suzanne's putting on, you're going to be focused specifically on what?
So I'm going to be focused on Atlantis and the Ascension, Atlantis, Avalon, and the Ascension. So I'm going to show the connection between what I've received from my Atlantis material and Avalon material, and just how our past basically can help us move through this ascension.
Right. Well, okay. Do you have, and I asked for some tips here, but you said, just raise your frequency, right? Just raise your.
Well, I would say the best, maybe another tip is just to figure out whichever way works best for you to receive messages from your higher guidance team. Because some people don't have to meditate, like lay down and meditate to receive information. But as we move through this ascension process, it really does help and gives you people an edge to just figure out what way works best for them. I mean, some people just go for a bike ride or a walk, or, they paint or something, or do something where they can receive messages, because then you will be guided. Like, you will be guided and you'll be given information, and it helps if you can hear it, because so many times I'll have a client under hypnosis, and as soon as they get under hypnosis and I'm speaking with their higher self is like, oh, finally, we've been showing them signs and symbols and they never relax. We can't get anything through. And then, they get excited because finally they have the person there, they're relaxed, and all this information is coming, but they keep saying they want us to slow down, to listen, to take time to listen to their team so that they can be in the right place at the right time.
Great. No, it's so exciting. Suzanne, thank you for putting all this together. I think it's amazing. Thank you, Sarah, for spending time here. How do people find you? How do they find your books? How do they find everything about you? Of course, they could come to the retreat, but how do they find you?
Yeah, you can I'll be at the retreat and I'll bring some books, and you can also go to my website, theholistichuhypnotist.com. I don't have any sessions available because I book up so far in advance, but I do have amazing 3-day workshops, and I honestly feel like they are better because you get so much for just 3 days, and it's like all the regressions and different modalities that will really help people kind of raise their vibrations.
Where does that happen, the workshops, the 3-day
All
workshop?
over. I'm doing one in the Florida Keys. That's a woman retreat. And then I'm doing one that's just, for everyone in April in Malvern, Pennsylvania. So all over.
Wow. And Suzanne, aren't you happy that we have such an amazing person coming to our event there?
Absolutely, Alan. I'm so excited for our Sedona Ascension retreat. And just to throw out a teaser, we may be doing an event here in San Diego, October 25th and 26th. So, Sarah, you better mark it on your calendar now because you are invited.
Cool.
Definitely. Great, great, great. I'm glad you have like settling on dates, and let's show the poster one more time so people know what we're talking about, because I think, Sarah alone is worth the price of admission, I think.
Yeah. Come say hi to me.
There is, well, Darryl Anka Bashar, he's going to do a
Yeah.
full thing. Of course, William Henry talked about Robert Edward Grant. Some of my, Susan Wilson's a great psychic. Vivian Chavez, Mark Anthony, Ann Tucker, we mentioned. There I am, and down there with Vincent Jenner, who's a fantastic kind of medium. Adam Apollo. Oh, and you mentioned moving the hips. Who's coming? Who's the dancer coming to this, Suzanne? That's about
Yeah, well, we don't have the Native Americans coming this time, but they were great dancers doing their war dances and everything.
Do we have anyone else coming? Like we have Kristen Hoffman.
Kristen Hoffman is our performer for this event, and so we're very excited about that.
Yes, she is great. Neil Gar. Anyway, come. It is March 14th to 16th, 2025. Sedona Ascension Retreats.com for tickets. And
right now, Alan, we're kind of appealing to people who are within driving distance. Not that you can't still hop on a plane and fly and come, but now that we're only 2 weeks out, we have 1-day passes. We have 1-day bundle passes, which is 1 day plus a workshop. But with your 1-day pass, you can add on workshops, add on journeys. And we also have a special Saturday evening pass. And that features Darryl Anka channeling Bashar, as well as Kristen Hoffman and Mark Anthony. So even with that Saturday evening pass, you can still book workshops or journeys. So we're very excited about, appealing to people who are within driving distance that don't have to get a hotel. They can just come for the day or for the night. So we're just trying to accommodate everybody.
Yes, it's definitely an exciting event. Thank you, Sarah, for coming. Look forward to seeing you. And you're very busy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm so lucky. It's wonderful. I love it. It's really fun.
You're going to be on Gaia. You're on Gaia a couple of times, right?
Yeah, today I was hypnotizing someone to retrieve their lost memories from a special program. It was so cool.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Suzanne. Thank you, Sarah Breskman Cosme, for all the work you're doing and really waking people up. You're the cutting. I mean, Dolores, yes, is a great person. Dolores Cannon, I interviewed her, but I really think you're taking it to another level. I mean,
that's really nice. Oh, thank you for doing what you're doing, and you're helping so many people. I mean, I see you just like pioneering and helping this whole shift in consciousness. And you too, Suzanne, you guys are so wonderful. It's like such a nice atmosphere when I'm around people like you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Sarah. We love you. I love you, Alan.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Subscribe, come to the event. It's all going to be fantastic. And I'm really excited about what's going on. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in right now.